question.
I've been signed out.
What?
I got signed out.
Oh, it's because I turned my computer on and I think I was logged in. Whoops.
Oh, this is kind of a busy. This is a busy shirt. I shouldn't have worn this shirt.
No, it looks good.
Can I lower this?
It's subtle enough.
It's subtle.
It's subtle enough. Where like it doesn't. It's not like you're wearing like orange with pink zebra stripe. Are you back on?
Oh man.
I think I might have been signed in. I'm in. You want me to just start?
Oh, everywhere.
I think
well.
everyone should still be in, right? Yeah. Okay, we're good.
I'm not gonna touch it. Are you good?
I'm in.
Okay, I'm not gonna touch it then.
Okay.
Oh well.
We should all like have separate logins. Ooh, I have an Angela Stanford. Well, is that you guys?
No, I renamed it.
Oh, okay. Wait a second. You guys just let me know when we're recording. We're recording. Okay. Welcome, Angela Stanford, to our media center this week here in Dallas for the Ascendant LPGA. Just thoughts on this week coming back to play so close to home and where you've been a past champion before.
I love this week. I love that I get to go home every night. I love that I sleep in my own bed. I've grown to love this golf course. Now being here year after year and having those good feelings of winning here, and so I love this week.
Mm-hmm. You've grown to love this golf course?
Well, the first time I played here, my short game was awful. So you have to kind of know, one, where the ball's going around here, and then you're going to chip a lot, and you're going to have some really difficult putts. The greens have a lot of movement, and they're Bermuda, and they're grainy, and if your short game's not on point, you're in trouble this week. So needless to say, my first few years here, I had a hard time.
I know you have a busy schedule and have been doing a lot lately, which we'll get into, but just the feeling of coming back and getting to play and be out on the golf course and compete, how good is that feeling, and how's your game feel for you? Yeah,
I think it's been a really interesting year. I feel very blessed, very fortunate that I've been able to do some TV, still been able to play a little bit, just trying to kind of figure out, what's going on, what I want to do, and it's well documented. The last couple of years have been really hard, and I kind of said at the beginning of this year, I felt like I was coming out of the fog a little bit, not ever dealing with the grief that I dealt with. I didn't really, it's hard to live everyday life, and I think, this year was really good for me because I do love doing TV, and I hope I get to do that in the future. But I also found myself traveling with my clubs and going to random places to hit golf balls, and that kind of told me that I'm not finished yet. So, I don't know what the future holds playing-wise, but I do want to try to get to 100 consecutive majors. That's kind of been a big goal, but that also means I have some work to do in the beginning of next year. So the fact that I kind of have that energy and I kind of have that burning desire to try to do that is, I think, a good sign for me.
Amazing. Speaking first on TV, how much are you enjoying just being able to be out there with people you're still competing with and still getting to watch them play and sort of analyze everybody's game? Does that give you an advantage maybe a little bit?
The thing that I've learned is I've always known how good these women are, but to see it up close and then get to talk about it has been really cool. The thing I learned in all of this is, like, I would go and ask them, what their lineup was for their clubs and how far they hit their clubs. And a number of times I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I hit my clubs that far. So, I think through the process this year of watching a little bit, I feel like I can still maybe compete a little bit. But I can appreciate where I am in life too. So I'm finding a lot of joy in playing. And my game actually in Portland was really good, and I was really upset that I couldn't keep playing after that. Mm-hmm. So it's good. I feel like I'm in a really good spot, and I do love working with those people on TV with NBC. Mm-hmm. they're the best at what they do, and I learned that really quick. But they're just nice people too. So I kept thanking the good Lord above that that I found good people there too, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Coming off of the Solheim Cup just 2 weeks out, I don't think we've spoken to you since, but how was the co-captaincy? Was it everything you expected it to be, and how energized does it make you, having had such success, I think?
Well, I think Stacy did a great job. I told her in the end, she handled it really well. She told the girls, look, we didn't lose. Granted, we're not going home with the cup, but we tied. We did not lose. And I kept telling them, we don't have to wait 2 years to get this back. Like, we get to do it again next year. Stacy did a great job preparing them. She kind of made it easy for us to kind of do what we needed to do when we got there. A lot of credit to those 12 ladies that played. It was a lot of fun to watch them come together as a team and gel as a team. Great individuals, great personalities, but they did come together as a team. So it was a great week. I told Stacy in the end, I said, look, we're trying to turn a tide here. It was all Europe for the last however many years. But I think we started to turn that tide. You can't just expect things to flip overnight. So I tried to tell her afterwards when she, how Stacy is, she's rethinking everything and she hates to lose. But I told her, I'm like, but you did something here this week that is foundational. Like, this is going to pay dividends down the road, and we needed that step. So she did great. I enjoyed it, enjoyed helping, and it was a lot of fun.
Awesome. I think Beth Ann has some questions here on the Zoom. Can we make sure we can hear her? Beth Ann, if you go ahead and unmute yourself, I think we can hear you.
Hello.
Hi.
I wanna follow up on the Solheim trend here. So speaking of the tie, do you think that it should be changed moving forward to where there is some sort of playoff format?
I think so. I think at the time it felt pretty good not to lose, but again, we didn't leave with the cup. There's still that, but in the back of my mind, I kept thinking, well, again, this is why you have to win the cup, because then you earn that right to retain. But, how cool would it be to have, two players from each team be put in an envelope at the beginning of the week, and they go out and they play best ball, and it's kind of a sudden death thing. Like, I think if you did something like that, it would just be so much more entertaining, and there's a sense of, finalizing the week, and at the same time, like, I grew up playing sports that you don't tie. So when I got on the airplane and left, I'm like, I still don't quite understand what happened. So yeah, I think it's probably time to, let's do something fun and let's have somebody win.
And then we heard this from Stacy, but I'm curious what you saw. Putting Lexi out in such high-profile positions throughout the cup. What did you see change in Lexi's game when you got to Spain? What was different?
I have to say I have the utmost respect for that girl. I did before, but we told her, Stacy told her, we're not going to play you alternate shot. In Cincinnati, Stacy told her that, and I think she could have taken that a number of ways, and instead, she was a great teammate. She put her head down. She was getting closer. Her ball striking was coming around, but she put her head down and worked. And when we get to Spain, we're on site, and have the advantage of the stats guys there, and watching the strokes gained in her practice rounds, all of a sudden she's hitting it better, and she's playing that course better than everybody. So she kind of earned it, and I think, and I hope that people didn't miss that. It wasn't like Lexi just showed up and we gave that to her. She earned it, and she earned that first tee shot, and she earned the anchor match, and I don't want people to miss that. I know people. They wanted to ask her about the chip, and it was a terrible lie, but I feel like we're kind of missing the point on Lexi in this year, where she had one of the worst years she could possibly have, and she showed up in that setting, and I I have a tremendous amount of respect for a person that does that.
Okay, and my last question, if I may, Caroline and Headwall kind of got overshadowed a little bit at the end with Saganda doing what she did on home soil, but can you speak to where that ranks, for accomplishments you've seen, not just in a Solheim Cup, but over the years in all of women's golf in terms of what she accomplished there?
Yeah, and I think it is quite an accomplishment because of the little we saw her play in the year. I mean, I'm not sure she played any LPGA events. I'm not sure where she was on the LAT and how she was playing, but I didn't see a lot of that match, but I will tell you, I was standing in 18 fairway and I saw her hit her second shot into the green. And I will say at that moment, under that much pressure, it was one of the best shots I've ever seen. When that ball took off, I thought Allie hit hers good. But when Headwall hit her ball, I was like, what a time. I really don't want to like this right now, but it was probably one of the best shots I've seen in that situation ever. I mean, you can rank it up there with Suzanne's putt because really, if we get a half there, we win the cup. So the shot she hit on 18, I mean, I'll never forget, but definitely one of the biggest I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I think if that's all, thank you, Angela.
All right.
We're happy to have you.
Thank you.